The afternoon sun beat down on Willow Creek estates like a judgmental spotlight, highlighting every flaw in the neighborhood's facade of perfection. Identical beige houses line the streets, their lawns clipped to military precision. Mailboxes gleaming as if they'd been polished that morning. It was the kind of place where folks moved for peace and quiet, but the air hummed with unspoken tension, like a pot about to boil over. I'd just pulled into my new driveway after a grueling shift, dealing with a multi-car pileup that left me scrubbing phantom blood from my hands, when she appeared. Ellen Hargrove, HOA president, stood at the edge of my property line like a guard dog marking her territory. Her pearl necklace caught the light, her khaki capris and crisp white blouse screaming, "I'm in charge here." She eyed my Ford F-150, the truck that had seen me through 2 decades of sheriff duties, like it was a cockroach in her salad. "That eyesore," she hissed, not even bothering with a hello, her voice dripping with the kind of faux politeness that masks pure venom. She jabbed a manicured finger at a tiny rust spot on the fender. "You can't park it out here. Bylaw 4. Section B, vehicles must maintain aesthetic harmony. This rust bucket is dragging down property values for the entire block." I stepped out, my boots crunching on the gravel, and extended a hand. "Name's Jack Riley. Just moved in. Nice to meet you, ma'am." She ignored the handshake, her eyes narrowing like she'd spotted a weed in her flower bed. "I don't care about pleasantries, Mr. Riley. I'm Ellen Hargrove, and as HOA president, I enforce the rules that keep this community civilized. Move it to the garage, or face a fine. We don't tolerate visual pollution." Visual pollution? I'd spent the day piecing together lives shattered on the highway, and here she was, lecturing me on a truck that had hauled gear for search and rescue ops. It was almost laughable, the way she puffed up like a peacock defending its tail feathers. But then I caught it, a flicker in her eyes. Not just annoyance, but raw fear. Like I was a threat she hadn't anticipated. Why? I wondered, my cop instincts kicking in. This wasn't about the truck. This was about control, and something deeper she was desperate to hide. That night, as the neighborhood settled into its eerie silence, no kids playing past dusk, no barbecues spilling laughter into the air, I fired up my laptop. Ellen Hargrove's online presence was a masterclass in curated tyranny. Her LinkedIn boasted dedicated community leader, but a dive into county records painted a different picture. 7 lawsuits in 8 years against ex-residents, one for a fence 6 inches too tall, another for holiday lights deemed garish. All settled out of court, with families selling at a loss and fleeing like refugees. Her husband, Tom Hargrove, ran Hargrove Landscaping and Repairs, the HOA's sole contractor for everything from mailbox replacements to emergency beautification. No bids, no competition. Red flag number 1. Their office was a P.O. box in the next county. No trucks, no employees listed. It smelled like a shell game. The next morning, I played the friendly neighbor, knocking on doors with a thermos of coffee as bait. Mrs. Lena down the street cracked her door an inch, her eyes darting like a cornered animal. "Oh, the new guy. Look, I can't chat long." Ellen's got eyes everywhere. When I mentioned the truck incident, she whispered, "Just comply." Last guy who pushed back, well, his kid's swing set got condemned for safety violations. He moved out broke. Mr. Ortiz, the retired vet with the spotless garage, was blunter. "That woman's got the board in her pocket. Question a fee." And suddenly your trash cans are non-compliant, fines stack up till you can't breathe. The fear was palpable. A suffocating blanket over what should have been a haven. No one talked openly, it was like living under a HOA Stasi. By evening, I'd logged into the Willow Creek Community app, a digital coliseum where Ellen held court. Her posts were gems of passive-aggressive mastery. Friendly reminder, trash bins visible after 8 a.m. violate our harmony standards. Let's keep Willow Creek pristine. Attached, a blurry photo of the Johnson's bin. Slightly askew. Comments flooded in like scripted applause. Thanks for watching out. Ellen. You're our guardian angel. But scroll deeper. And the cracks showed, deleted threads where someone dared complain about a $200 seasonal enhancement fee that funded nothing but Tom's Phantom Company. One anonymous post survived. Is anyone else tired of these arbitrary rules? Ellen's reply, we value unity. Dissent disrupts our values. Report issues privately. It was hilarious in its hypocrisy. Like a dictator preaching democracy. That night, from my backyard overlooking the woods, I spotted movement. A unmarked van crept into the driveway of an empty house owned by a board member vacationing abroad. Two guys unloaded crates, quick. Silent. Gone in minutes. I noted the partial plate. This wasn't landscaping, this was logistics for something shady. I called my old buddy, forensic accountant Dave from the State Bureau. Jack. This HOA's financials. It's a joke. $40,000 for gate flowers? That's floral extortion. Every penny funnels to Hargrove Landscaping, overinflated invoices. No receipts. Classic laundering, clean resident dues in. Dirty cash out as profits. The puzzle snapped together. Ellen's rules weren't just power plays, they were shields for a criminal racket. Keeping nosy folks scared and silent. Magazine.atavis.com. All archives, page 3 of 12, The Atavist Magazine. The fines started rolling in for me like clockwork. Each one more absurd than the last. First, a $100 ding for unapproved driveway gravel tone. I ignored it. Watching Ellen's patrols intensify, she'd cruise by in her SUV. Phone out. Snapping pics like a paparazzo hunting scandal. Then came the whispers, neighbors avoiding eye contact. A forum post painting me as the reclusive troublemaker undermining our standards. Concerned about this new resident's refusal to integrate, Ellen typed. Her words laced with faux worry. We must protect our children's environment from disruptive elements. Disruptive? I'd waved at kids on bikes. But now I was the boogeyman. It was black comedy, the woman embezzling thousands accusing me of being shady. Across the street, young artist Mia got hit hard. Her vibrant garden, a splash of color in the beige wasteland, drew Ellen's ire. Unsanctioned pallet, $1, 500 fine, the email barked. Mia. Freelancing from home. Paced her living room. Tears mixing with fury. It's just flowers. How is purple petunias a crime? She vented to her empty house. But inside, rage brewed. Ellen's board meetings were theater, for the greater good, she'd intone. Her voice honeyed poison. As she approved another fee hike that lined Tom's pockets. Mia. Remembering her old gig designing the HOA site. Tried her forgotten login. Bingo, arrogance breeds sloppiness. Folders spilled secrets, double ledgers showing $10,000 repairs costing $500. Bank transfers to offshore accounts. A delivery schedule for merchandise. Stolen goods. Laundered through Tom's firm. Trembling. Mia copied it all to a USB and slipped it into my mailbox under cover of night. Her heart pounding like a drum solo. Ellen smelled blood. Her retaliation was swift and slimy. A call to the sheriff's office, my office, filing a complaint. This man's installing spy cams. He's a threat to kids. My deputy chuckled over the phone, boss. Some lady's painting you as a creeper. Want me to handle it? File it, I said, smirking at the irony. She didn't know I was the sheriff. On the forum, she escalated, beware the loner with hidden agendas. Safety first. Comments echoed her paranoia, thanks for the heads up. Ellen, we trust you. But cracks appeared. One neighbor liked a critical post before deleting it. That night, my new birdhouse cam caught Tom tossing garbage on my lawn. Then Ellen posting a photo, see? Newcomers bring trash, literally. Hypocrisy at its finest. I saved the footage. Chuckling darkly. Mia faced escalation too, a $3,000 lien threat. Pay or lose your home, Ellen's email sneered. Mia's snap was quiet but fierce. She'd pushed back by leaking the files. Ellen's patrols turned frantic. She'd stop. Glare at my truck. Muttering about standards. I installed more cams. Turning her surveillance game against her. Dave confirmed, the schedule shows a big drop tomorrow, stolen tech. Worth 6 figures. The news tightened. Ellen's fear morphed into desperation. Her polite facade cracking into lashing outbursts. You'll regret this, she snapped at a board meeting. Her voice trembling as a neighbor questioned a fee. The empire wobbled. The clock hit 0 that night. Warrants secured. My team positioned in the shadows, tactical vans hidden. Deputies ready. The schedule pegged a 10 p.m. delivery to the empty house. I revved my truck. Headlights slicing the dark. And pulled out. There she was, Ellen's SUV blocking the street. Her face a storm cloud in my beams. She leaped out. Phone raised like a shield. Recording. You're done. Harassing me. Stalking, I've got proof. Her voice cracked with triumph. Eyes wild with that mix of arrogance and panic. This is my road. My rules. I stepped out calmly. Body cam blinking green. Ma'am. Move your vehicle. You're obstructing. She laughed. A brittle cackle. Citizen's arrest. You're a menace. She dove back in. Engine roaring. And, bam, rammed her SUV into my truck side. Metal screamed. Glass shattered. Her bumper crumpling like her composure. She stumbled out. Face twisted in shock. Pointing wildly. Look what you made me do. You'll pay, property damage. Assault. I advanced. Voice steady as steel. Ellen Hargrove. You're under arrest for felony assault on a peace officer. Her smug mask shattered, eyes bulging. Mouth agape in horror. What? You're. No. I pointed to the cam. Sheriff Jack Riley. All recorded, blockade. Assault with a vehicle. Sirens wailed as my team swarmed, vans screeching in. Lights flashing. Deputies cuffed a stunned Tom on his porch. Raiding the house for crates of hot electronics. Ellen's knees buckled as handcuffs clicked. Her pearl necklace swinging like a noose. This is a mistake. I was protecting the community, she wailed. But her voice was hollow. The queen dethroned in her own kingdom. Weeks later. The headlines screamed Willow Creek racket bust, HOA boss faces racketeering. Laundering charges. Ellen and Tom. Plus cronies. Stared down federal time, millions embezzled. Stolen goods funneled through their sham company. The neighborhood exhaled. Mia's garden bloomed unchecked. Kids played freely. Barbecues lit up the streets. At one. Mr. Ortiz clapped my shoulder. You gave us our lives back. Sheriff. Mia grinned. We all did, by finally pushing. I left the den in my truck as a badge of honor. A reminder that peace sometimes demands a fight. Willow Creek transformed from a prison of petty rules to a real community. Laughter replacing whispers. But tell me, was Ellen the real monster? Or does the HOA system itself breed these power-mad Karens, turning everyday folks into tyrants under the guise of order? Who's truly at fault here, the abuser or the rules that enable the abuse?